Joining in studio now is Mr. Matt Chipman. Matt is the president of a company called Green Chip Investor Relations. Matt, always good to see you.
Glad to be here again, Don.
Well, you know, Matt, we're firmly now into second quarter of 2017. And I have to say, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, that there just seems to be a pro-business attitude amongst business people and a pro-economy attitude amongst consumers. I mean, consumer confidence is nearly an all-time high.
Well, if you're focusing on the wrong headlines, you miss this move in the market. You know, there was about a 4-month rally in the market.
Right.
It started in November, and it probably topped out a little bit in March. But numbers that came out today show that the U.S. economy is consistent,
Right.
consistently growing, and GDP growth is expected to maintain and continue to grow. So the numbers confirm that this market may continue its bullish pattern.
Well, you mentioned November, and I'll just say that the media has lost all their credibility whatsoever. I mean, they put out a news story saying the market's rally is over, and you look up at the stock quote, and it's down 1 point. And that's hardly a market rally being over when it's trading at 20,500.
Yeah, and that's why I always focus on do your research in the companies that you invest in. Try to maintain communication with the companies that you're involved with. You know, really analyze the story, the research that might be out on the company, and find your points where to come in.
Well, you know, I've always told people Anderson Cooper doesn't care whether your portfolio goes up or down. You have to be the one that performs the due diligence, and as you said, do your research, maintain contact with the companies that you do business with and invest in, because it's you that's really responsible for it.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, I was frustrated over the last year because I didn't see the gains that I thought these companies would go through. And it was a lot of work, and sometimes you enjoy the gains after the work is done. And so since the election, and it may be coincidental, I don't know, but the gains that I've seen with people that I refer and suggest that they look at certain stocks have been astronomical.
Well, let's face it, in the run-up to the election last year, listening to the media, you thought the world was going to end. They just had so much negativity leading up to the day before the election. And then the day after the election, you were sure the world had ended, according to the media.
For a couple hours, it looked like it had. Then the futures sell off when Trump,
Right.
Overnight they went down something,
Right.
showing that the market was going to drop 600 points. By the next day, it was up.
So a lot of people that shorted the market, after the election, got it handed to them, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean that's why you try not to go against trends, and so yeah, you may not like Trump and his political policies, but you have to agree that he is business minded,
Right.
And he is pro the building. And I know it's a cliche of America,
Right.
but that involves, and he understands, the hotel industry
Right.
and doing business and traveling,
Right.
and so hopefully that resurgence will help.
Well, as I said, it's a pro-business atmosphere that we're experiencing. It's a pro-business atmosphere that we've not experienced in a number of years. I mean, you and I talk to business people every day, all day.
Right.
And I can tell you that over the last several years, even talking to these people, everyone was kind of queasy. We don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know how the government's going to react. We don't know where regulations are coming down. And you talk to them today, and everybody's very bullish.
It's just that layer of confidence that it now becomes more, they can feel a little more comfortable stepping in and doing those deals.
Right.
I mean, there was an article out just the other day that China is going to lift restrictions on being able to get money out of China. That's been a big problem.
Incredible.
And they're actually talking about doing that now. So anyway.
Almost out of time, Matt, but people want to know more about Green Chip Investor Relations. What can they do?
Best way is to just send me an email, Matt, M-A-T-T, at greenchipir.com. I'll promise I'll respond to you as soon as possible, and I can provide you a couple ideas and things that I'm doing.
Okay, once again, Matt Chipman, Green Chip Investor Relations. Matt, always a pleasure to have you inside on the show.
Thanks for having me on again.